despite trying to have as light of a pack as possible, generally speaking. Had to bring coffee. Cheers. Oh yeah. Great day. Well, hey there folks. And welcome to my one-day through hike of the Speed River Trail here in Guelph. Actually, it's a Guelph to Cambridge trail. Not much to really see at the trailhead here in Guelph. It actually starts right behind the current location of the Guelph Humane Society, and that is also located directly next to a water treatment plant. So I'll give you a little bit of a panoramic view. There's a little bit of a river down there, and there's also a quarry, and in behind there is the water treatment plant, and also, if I go the other way, behind the trees there, also water treatment plant. So the Speed River Trail is roughly just under 13 and a half kilometers from Guelph to Cambridge, and it also comprises one of two trails that you have to complete in order to get an end-to-end badge offered by the Guelph Hiking Trails Club. And of course, it's still COVID season, despite the fact that it's now a year into the pandemic, and I do have a mask with me in case I should need it. It's a crisp -7 degrees Celsius, not too bad. There's the Speed River there, and like I said, I'm just starting out on the trail today right now. So water treatment plant, no puppies outside for a daily run just yet, but it's, like I said, it's pretty chilly. Now, I did explore a little bit of this trail, and actually from both ends, not really knowing that it was one connecting trail back in my geocaching days. So anyone that is watching from a hiking perspective, and if you want to spend a little bit even more time on the trail, feel free to download the geocaching app and find some potentially hidden treasures. Cold. Could be worse. It's only -9, but really pretty outside. And what do we have here? First Sidetrail. Get you a shot of that. Do a little exploring, because there looks like to be something over there. Let's go check it out. And back up a little bit. Oop. Nice little shelter. Orange blaze, check. And blue Sidetrail. Let's see what this one says. rejoins the trail, I'd say we check it out. Lots of ducks and geese are out today. Like, considering I'm actually wearing a down jacket, I know how warm those guys can be. But you still wonder if they're floating on really cold water, do they not get cold? One thing that I might as well point out while I'm here is, again, part of the reason that I started these videos was I wouldn't consider myself a professional by any stretch of the imagination, but I would say that I learned a lot over the past 18 months or so. And one day I will do a through hike or a multi-day hike somewhere. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I've been tackling the Bruce Trail. And I've been also researching other trails, both in Canada and around the world, that, you know, add it to the bucket list as well. And one thing that you will probably come across is, you know, should I pack a puffy, should I not? Which is, you know, essentially a down jacket or vest, perhaps. And I can tell you that it is well worth buying whenever you find a sale on. The one I'm wearing is a Woods brand. I don't think they really have a model, but it's a down jacket. And it's really nice because it has a collar. So when it's done up, even if I have the hood back, you know, I can hide my chin in it quite well. And when I have the hood up, it doesn't have a drawstring, but it does have an elastic around the opening, so it hugs the face quite well. And it's so warm. So right now, I think I mentioned that it's like -9 outside Celsius. So despite the fact that it's -9, I do have just a buff for my neck, and this is just a long sleeve cotton shirt. So as you can see, I don't have any like thermal underwear on or anything else like that. And despite all that, I'm not just warm, but I'm sweating a little bit. So just gonna switch hands here. So well worth the investment. And this one I picked up at Mark's work warehouse, or Mark's warehouse, depending on what name they use any given year. And they had a sale on, and it was $100. That was it. So it wasn't really rated for any particular temperature. I believe it's 800 fill, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, well worth the investment. And I'm gonna go because there's somebody behind me. Sorry about that, folks. I get a little self-conscious when people are about. Anyways, so yeah, down jacket, highly recommend, especially in winter. Very, very lightweight, so I think this jacket is maybe 2 pounds, if that. Much lighter than your traditional winter jackets, especially like when you compare it to like a wool pea coat, for example, which is still very warm, but especially on a multi-day hike, you wouldn't want to be carrying around that weight, especially if you're not really needing it every day. So. All right, folks, so if you have not done this trail, but are looking to do it, just beyond that gate there was the trail that I was filming from, well, the last recording anyways. So the trail actually continues down I think for about 150 meters. And there's a barricade at the end where the river is. But as you can see, it was unfortunately like this part of the trail, or like this part of the trail here, was not blazed at all. And it was only because I saw some signage right here that indicated to basically turn off that part of the trail anyways and come down this way. So I am on the main trail, and actually you can see the orange blazes there. And the trail continues on private land. And here we can actually see a blaze and a sign. Trail users basically don't abuse. And a puppy. All right, guys, check in a little bit later. Well, the tire's unfortunate, but let's see if we can make it through without. Alright, this is where my trekking poles would come in handy. Oh, there we go. Really peaceful. Just came across a really pretty area of the trail. So that's where I just came from. And here's the river. Alright, you want to see something funny? Let's try this. Careful, I'm going to get my other glove on. So, could kind of go that way. Tracks go that way. And trees in the way. So let's... and at 6 foot and a little overweight, this is not exactly an easy thing to do. Also, it doesn't help when you have trekking poles sticking out of your backpack. So I didn't take a picture of the sign, but looks like there's some underground drainage that's causing issues with the ground. So all of these stakes, that's the way that I just came, by the way. And beautiful shot of the river. And these stakes are warnings for holes. So perhaps not as much of a problem in the winter if the ground is frozen and solid and safe to walk on. But I can imagine spring especially. You're walking along and maybe the reeds are tall or the grass is tall, and you come across and your foot goes down in one of those holes and all of a sudden you can't walk anymore. So even though this is basically it's not quite off the beaten path kind of trail, it's, as I mentioned earlier, you got Guelph on one side, Cambridge on the other. You still don't want to get into a situation where you get hurt and you're kind of stuck. Now, luckily, because of the area, I've not had any problem whatsoever with cell reception. So at least so long as you have an idea of where you are on the trail, which is another reason that you might want to consider recording your hikes, I use All Trails myself. You can give responders a better indication of where you are. So just a quick little thing. The tree line is essentially where the river is. So following the trail, it makes a sharp 90-degree turn to the right, which go through the edge of a farmer's field, corn of course, and that is Wellington Road, which is the same road that the Guelph Humane Society on, which is also the same as Hespeler Road if you're going into Cambridge. So just to give you an idea as to where I am on the trail, but I was only hiking along Highway 24 for not even 10 minutes. And then the first left, which is out of Petro-Canada. And for those who are not familiar with the area, there's a, I believe it's a country-style donuts inside of the Petro. So if you want to top up for coffee or hot chocolate or whatever. And of course, the Petro has a convenience store attached. You can grab something there. And then head down the side trail, or side road rather, cross the bridge here, over the Speed River. So now I'm on the opposite bank as before. And just come down, there's the entrance there, and yeah, trail. After, maybe a couple hundred meters off of that side road, the trail turns sharp left, and just along that line there is the river, and back in the wooded area again. So after a family video chat, I came across this, so I had to let them go so I could take this video for you guys. So this is, well, I'm probably 2 kilometers or so from the end of the trail. So looks like just a 2-sided building. Not much left, obviously. Could have been used for storage, like a cellar or something. Especially with the little hill in the back here. Actually, I do have the guide with me, so I don't remember there any mention of a building in the guide, but so there is a mention of a barn foundation, but I'd have to double check to see if I'm reading for the correct section. Yep, that's about it. All right, guys. Final stretch. Well, here's the decision. Don't have far to go, so I can either take the dense trees or the scenic route along the river. I am going to opt for the main trail. Not that I have seen enough of the river, but I'm going to take my time with this last stretch and see if we can come across any deer. Saw this from the trail and just had to get it. Almost through. Well guys, this is it. The end is nigh. I'm in the final 100 or 150 meters of the trail here. So I just wanted to say thanks for coming along on this one-day through hike of the Speed River Trail. And a couple shout outs to Rootless Wanderer, Saskatoon. Rudy, get over here. We've got some hiking to do. To Paul, the CBO, also looking towards our upcoming hike to wrap up the Bruce Trail, and others, I'm sure. And of course to my lovely wife, who is very patient with me and supporting my hours and or days out on the trail, and being the base of operations in case anything goes wrong. And of course for laughing at me anytime that I start buying some new equipment for hiking. So, without any further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe down below. Any comments, questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, we'll see you out on the next adventure, whatever that might be. Here's the end, folks. Now, let's see what a guy's got to do to get a cab around here. Somehow I don't think if I showed a little hairy leg, it'll happen.